Celebration Company. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a great day. Y'all, today I am playing right now mostly and working on trying to elevate some Dollar Tree ornaments that I bought. So I got these Dollar Tree ornaments yesterday, and I want to make them look a lot more expensive than what they look like right now. Right now, they're a little on the cheap look, and it's not going to work well with what I am trying to achieve. So I wanted to see what I could do and see if I could make these look a lot more expensive. Okay, so I have a couple of plans. We're going to do the red ones different from the gold ones, and we'll see what we come up with. I have a really cool technique that I saw last night. I do not remember who the creator was that shared it, but it's kind of amazing, and I'm really excited to share that with y'all as well. So when you hop in, say hello, let me know you're watching. Hopefully y'all are having a good day so far. It has been a cold, rainy, yucky, nasty day here. It's been one of those days that I've wanted to just crawl into bed, but I've been productive instead. Hey, Aletta. Hi, Larissa. Hello, Jerry. Hey, Stacy. Hi, Jeslyn. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Patty. Hey, Danae. Thanks, Danae. Hi, Jamie. Hey, Teresa. Hello, Jerry. Hey, Kathy. Hi, Angie. Hey, Patty. Hey, Linda. Hey, Dorothy. And Linda Taylor. Hey, Rhonda. Hi, Deborah. Hey, Tammy. Glad to see y'all. Hang on just 1 second. Hang on. Y'all, my washing machine broke. And so I am currently just making it work as best I can to try and get some laundry done, so it's not agitating. And so I have been running it, filling it up, and then agitating it myself, and then draining it and spinning it, rinsing it. Actually, it's been a whole thing. So it's filling back up right now to rinse, and I didn't want it to run because it's not working. So anyways, all the things, adulthood, it's fun. We have not gotten a chance to get it dealt with yet. So, all right, so let's get into it. I have already started these because I wanted to kind of see how this was going to go. But we're going to go on and get started, and I'll show you how this looks, okay? So, I'm going to start with the red one, and I actually did not worry about the glitter, and it works just fine to leave the glitter on, okay? So, I don't have to worry about that, which is really nice. So, I'm just going to take the top off, and then I did try and get something inside there. So, what worked best for me is taking these. I've got these two little dowels, and I took a knife and I just shaved them off a little bit to make one of them smaller. And then I just, well, this one must be, oh, it's broken. That's the problem. Let's see if I can get, I may have to do 3. The top on this one is broken, so it's not as small. Okay, so I got 3. So I'm going to shove those down in there so that I can hold on to this. Oh, really, Jerry? I don't have a Costco membership. Hey, Nancy. All right, so now what we're going to do is paint this. And this is easy, y'all. This is very easy. So we're going to paint this with some Santa red. And you could use whatever color you want to. It is not on inside out. It's just made that way. So I'm going to first take a little brush to get into these small areas. Again, this has glitter on it. We're going right over that glitter. And believe it or not, it's not going to show. All right. So I'm just getting into, because we're going to use a pouncer to get the rest of this. And so I can't really get into some of those small areas with the pouncer. So I'm just using a brush and I'm applying the paint liberally. Okay. I don't usually apply paint this thick, but for this project, you want to put it on pretty heavy. The unfortunate part about this is that I don't know if I'm going to be able to give you a full picture of what this is going to turn out looking like until a few hours from now. Okay, so I covered the glitter and got all of those little intricate parts. And then I'm just going to take a pouncer and use it to paint the rest. And again, I'm going in pretty heavy with the paint. I don't usually ever apply paint this heavy. You want to make sure that you get it all covered. So if there's parts that your pouncer can't get to, take the brush to those areas. Patty, that's interesting news. Okay, so we've got this on pretty heavy. And don't worry about that texture either, okay? Because the texture is actually going to help us. I'm just going over it a little bit more just to make sure. Now the trick here is you want it all wet. And again, you want a pretty heavy coat. I'm getting paint everywhere. This is why one reason why I never apply so much paint. Okay, so once you've got that heavily covered, okay, this is where the fun part comes in. We are going to take baking soda. Okay, so this is baking soda right here. And we are going to cover our ornament in baking soda. Now, stick with me. Okay, you want to make sure and completely cover it. Get all the areas and make sure every part is covered in baking soda. Have y'all seen this technique done before? Do you know what I'm doing? And it gets pretty thick on there, or at least it does for me. But I just keep going until I feel like every part is well covered. Okay. Once we get that covered, I'm just going to tap off the excess. I'm just tapping my hand like that to just tap off some of the excess, okay? And it's going to look something like this. Yes, Terry, it does. It does. So it's going to look something like this. So we're going to set this aside to let this dry, okay? Here in a few minutes, we'll come back and I'll show you what we're going to do, and y'all are going to be amazed. I was amazed. Okay, so this is not what it's going to look like, okay? So bear with me. All right. That looks, I mean, if you wanted a snowy look, that would be, an option. But that's not what we are going to end up with. Okay. So I'm going to set this aside and we're going to move on to the gold one. And then here in a few minutes, I'll show you what this is going to look like. Hopefully, we'll let it dry a bit. All right. So I'm just putting it in some styrofoam upside down to let it dry. Okay. All right. Let me clean up my red. Now, for the gold ones, we're going to do gold leaf. Okay. Just trust the process, okay? Because I tell you, you're going to be amazed. You're going to be amazed. Okay. So for the gold ones, I'm going to grab my gold. Now this, I wasn't so sure if this was going to work or not, but it did, because this one has gold leaf or gold glitter on the end in like a pattern. And so I wasn't sure if this was going to work, but it did. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So I'm taking some gold leaf. This just came from Amazon. And some decoupage glue. Okay. And we are going to cover this. The way that I'm doing it right now, and this could be right or wrong, I don't know, is I'm doing just the bottom portion about the part that my gold leaf's going to cover. Now you can buy gold leaf glue. I'm not using gold leaf glue. I don't know if gold leaf glue is better or not. I'm just using decoupage glue. Okay, so I've got that covered. So I'm going to take my gold leaf. I've been grabbing it with that paper on the bottom, and I find that it's a little easier. And I'm just laying it on there, and then I'm just going to take my hand and just pinch it around. And then I'll remove the paper, just like that. Okay. Then I just am kind of, for this one, I kind of went in with my finger, and I'm just pressing it down in these little crannies. And then I can take some scrap pieces, and if I see any that is not covered or is already starting to kind of mess up a little bit, I'm just going to take and lay some scrap pieces down in those areas. Now, this is not going to be completely covered. You're going to have some spots that aren't covered, and that's fine. I'll show you how we're going to fix that. Okay, so beautiful gold leaf, Amazon. It's very inexpensive. Okay, and then what I'm doing is I'm setting this aside to dry. So I'm going to just set this aside and let it sit a little bit. The reason why I chose to do that is because I think it helps the gold leaf to stick a little bit better, letting that decoupage glue dry a bit. I don't know if that is right or wrong, but that's what I decided to do. So, take it for what it's worth. Okay, so here's one I've already done, and I've let this one set aside and dry a bit. So I'm going to start then removing some of this excess. So you can just pull it off. Okay. And then you just want to go in. And I mean, it's not completely dry. It's still like I can feel some wet spots, especially in some of these crevices. But I'm just going in with my finger and just sort of pressing down a little bit more. Then I'm going to take a soft bristle brush. Jerry, I saw it last night. It came up on my TikTok, or not TikTok. I don't watch TikTok. My Reels feed, and I cannot remember who it was. Unfortunately, I should, so that I can give that person some credit. But I don't remember who it was. I had never seen her before. But anyways, it was a really cool idea. I did not come up with it. Okay, so I'm just taking my soft bristle brush and then just very gently, I'm brushing away the excess, okay? So there's, like I said, there's gonna be some spots that it's not going to stick, and that's all right. Okay, so then we're gonna do the rest of it. So now that we've got the bottom done, so you can see the difference in the sheen. So now we're going to do the top, okay? Okay, thank you, Lynn. I don't know why sometimes all of a sudden my screen goes dim. All right, so I'm going to now do the top, and same way, I'm just applying the decoupage glue. Take this topper off. And the toppers you can redo. I think it's easiest to just wait until your ornament's done and then put it on, and then paint it after you've put it back on the ornament. Okay, so just like that, and then I'll take another piece of my gold leaf, lay it on, same thing. Okay. And then the idea is, I think if you let this sit longer, a little while, it's going to do a lot better. But you can see how that's looking. So it's beautiful as it is. Even if you left it just like this and you didn't worry about adding anything else, I think it would be really pretty just like this. But you can see some of that other color underneath, which is what I was hoping to cover up. All right. So just to kind of show you how this goes, I'm going to go on and remove some of this. Okay. And then again, I just take my soft bristle brush, and I'm not putting very much pressure at all. This stuff is so thin and delicate that it comes off very easily. And so I'm just barely just rubbing that across to remove some of that excess. Some of y'all have probably done this 100 times and know exactly what you're doing. Now, it does not stick to those inside areas. I cannot get it to, at least. Hey, Trisha, good to see you. I hope you're having a good vacation. Okay, so once you've got the excess removed, this is what it looks like. So like I said, you could leave it just like this, but I wanted something a little different. So I'm going to take my metallic luster, and we're going to add a little bit of metallic luster onto here, and that's going to kind of fill in some of these areas. I think I'm going to take a little heat tool to this to just dry if there's any decoupage glue that's still wet, to dry that. Okay. And then I've got a brush and my metallic luster. This is the gold brush. It does, Carolyn. This is going to give it even more of a vintage feel, what I'm getting ready to do. But you are right. It does give it a vintage feel. And it's very pretty, like I said, so you could leave it just like that. I decided to take my metallic luster and get in there and just fill in some of these areas. This has given it a more muted gold look. Again, you know, both ways are beautiful, however it is that would work best for you. But I just start taking that metallic luster and just kind of, I'm not necessarily covering the whole thing, but I am covering quite a bit of it. I'm especially covering some of those crevices that are showing through. Okay, so it's a whole different look. They're both really pretty. I like to take this into some of these crannies here, really get it in there, because sometimes they look a little almost black. And so you just keep doing that until you have covered it to whatever, you know, amount you would like. So I just need to get some down here. Now I did try just putting the metallic luster just straight on the ornament, and that just didn't work. There was no punch there. I didn't like that. That didn't really do much. So this worked better. I also like the texture that the metallic or the gold leaf gives. It gives it a bit of a texture. And it also feels a little vintage to me, almost like a paper mache ornament is kind of what it reminds me of a bit. Okay, so let me show you how that turns out. And I don't know how well y'all can see that and see the details on it, but it just is really pretty. So then you can take your little hanger. I'm just going to put some hot glue because these things come off really easily. I hope so, Teresa. I think that they are, though. So we're just going to put some hot glue right on top and then pop this back on. And then I'm just going to take some more of my metallic luster and just brush over this hanger. And I might do it twice, all depending. Okay. Just like that. Look how pretty that is. I've got another one that I've already done. And I don't know why, but they just remind me of paper mache ornaments. I think that they are so much better. What do y'all think? So this is before. Major difference. Don't y'all agree? I mean, this just looks cheap. These do not. So that is the gold ones. So I'm going to repeat that. I've got 12 of these to do. But I think they're going to be really pretty. So then let's talk about the red ones. Okay, let me get some of this gold leaf out of the way. And let's see if I can show you how the red ones are going to turn out. All right. So you wait until they're dry, which this one is probably not completely dry yet. So I'm going to show you really quick, and then I'm going to show you one that's already almost done. Okay. So after you let this dry, okay, so remember we took a pouncer in the color Santa red, and we covered our ornament really heavily in the paint, making sure that everything was wet, okay? Then we sprinkled baking soda all over the ornament, okay? So when this dries, I'm going to probably do them, and then I'm just going to leave them to sit overnight. But once they dry, oops, daisies, you will again take a soft bristled brush, and you will start to brush away that baking soda. Okay? Yes. So let me show you one that I already started doing. So I started doing it probably too soon, but I did it anyways. So I've let it dry a little bit longer. So now I'm just going to come in here and try and remove the rest of the baking soda. And y'all, they look just like those velvet or flocked ornaments, however you want to call them, kind of like those trees that I got yesterday from the Dollar General. And you could even leave that white if you wanted to. I thought that looked kind of pretty as well. So just, take and just remove. And y'all, these are so stinking cool. Okay. And look at that. Yes, Jerry, right over the paint. You do not have to, you don't have to do anything else. No decoupage, anything like that. It's just the paint and then the baking soda right on to the ornament. And it looks like velvet. Isn't that the coolest thing? I mean, I just think it's amazing. So then I can take and we'll put a hanger on it. So I'm going to put some glue. Okay, just like that.
Mama,
yeah, baby.
you live?
I am.
Can I see your phone quick? Not your work phone, that one.
Okay, so then I'll just take my metallic luster again, and I'm just going to go over the little hanger here. And this is not really necessary because, I mean, it's not going to show. But we're going to do it anyways. Who are you texting?
Brantley. I think something's wrong with my tablet.
Uh-oh.
Like, I sent a text and it normally tells me it's delivered, but it didn't say deliver.
Okay. So just like that. Look at that, y'all. So we have our red ones that are flocked and then our gold ones. What do y'all think? Y'all gonna try this technique? And like I said, I went over the glitter. You can't even tell because the texture of the glitter just blends right in. So it works perfectly. So that's the plan for these. Hopefully they look great on the tree. I think that they are definitely an improvement from what we started with, which was this. So from this here to this, I think we've definitely elevated on. What do y'all think? So thank you all so much for joining me. That's my plan. I'm gonna work on getting these done over the next couple of days. And on Saturday, I'm decorating for Christmas. What about y'all? Y'all have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all tomorrow. Reminder, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., we are having a live sale. Okay, so we've got lots of great Christmas decor, a little bit of fall decor that we're going to be doing a live sale on. So we did this a few weeks back. We're going to do it again with different stuff. And it's going to be lots of fun. So make sure you join us tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time to grab some fun stuff. I went in stories today and showed you all everything. Okay, so it's all there in stories. You can check out all the things. So y'all have a great day. I'll see you all. Connie, it's very simple. You'll just comment a number, and whenever you comment that number, it'll automatically add that item to your cart. You have a specific amount of time to check out. You just go to our website, thecelebrationcompany.com. That's where it'll add it to your cart at. And then you just check out just like you were purchasing anything on our website. So it's very simple. Okay. All right, y'all. Have an amazing day, and I'll